So I've been struggling for a few days to write this talk because I think that you, attendees of this conference, want and deserve a well-presented and full argument on why you might join or get involved with Scientist Rebellion or organisations like these. And that's not really what I have for you today. The purpose of wanting to give this talk was just to make it clear, as much clear as possible, that there is an outlet for if you are feeling alone and dissociated and scared and powerless about the scale and the rapidity of the climate and ecological crisis. Scientist Rebellion is a group who are active across Europe, North America, South America, and have some presence all over the world, and are open and would be delighted to have you. And I'll talk a little bit about what they are and what they do and how you can get involved. But first I feel like I have to give a justification for why this talk isn't really a talk. This is going to be quite raw, sorry. So one thought that's been occurring to me as I've been trying to write this is that I am autistic and queer and trans, and each one of these is a big, measurable detriment to my expected lifetime and quality of life, and yet it's not any of these that I fear. The thing that I fear really shortening and worsening my life is the climate. I probably don't need to tell the people at this conference quite how bad and quite how dire things are and are likely to be. I think most people here probably know that we are steaming through any chance of limiting warming to 1.5 degrees right now, that we are likely to be at 2 degrees by the middle of the century, and that the effect on human and all plant and animal life of that will be huge. Already we are experiencing summers that have long periods of being too hot to work, winters where energy prices are so expensive that many of us can't afford to be warm. Many parts of the world are experiencing huge and increased rate natural disasters. That not just threatening our ability to work, but our very lives. And that will only broaden and worsen. And the world isn't acting. I think we all kind of know that. I think we all are sort of aware it takes an afternoon to learn enough about the physical reality of the climate to see how inexorable the current economic system, how inexorably the current economic system is leading to just increasing emissions. And it can feel very dissociating to know that and to know how immediate and dire the situation is, and yet just to not see people reacting. And that is part of why it is so important that we, not just as individuals but as scientists, find every way we can to put up our hands and say, this is not okay, this is a crisis. This is a time where we have to rapidly and radically shift kind of everything about human life on this planet. I'm gonna show here a few papers by wonderful people just mapping out the case for scientists to be involved in civil disobedience. I really recommend you go and read them, but to just put it in kind of simple in my own words, when we as scientists don't speak, the powerful institutions that uphold the status quo speak through us. They make it seem like their actions are supported by the academy and the institutions of science. And one of the few ways in which we can really clearly raise our voice in opposition to that is by engaging in non-violent direct action, in civil disobedience, to show people that we, as scientists, as researchers holding prestigious degrees in prestigious institutions, can wear a lab coat and paste papers on the front of a ministry, block a bridge, do anything we can think of to try and speak to a broad and diverse public about the fact that science isn't going to save us from the climate crisis. There is no innovation or invention that we could expect within the next 20 years to avoid even some of the milder cataclysms that are predicted for us by reliable and well-tested and repeatedly tested models. And it's really scary to engage in this kind of protest. You're putting your reputation, but also your body and your safety on the line potentially. There's a lot of variation in how you can be involved. You don't have to risk arrest. You don't have to put yourself in the face of the sanctioned violence of the state. It's very powerful when you do, and if you are a citizen of your nation, if you believe it not to be actively malevolent to you, if you have a tenured job or a job that you feel secure in, it is a fantastic thing to do, to stand up and show your deep and full resistance to this lethargic and genocidal status quo. But also, if you don't feel like you can do that, you can support others doing that. Many support roles are needed. And it is just, I know that I'm recording this whilst between bouts of deep fear, but it is a huge relief to be actually engaged with people truly pushing back against the crisis. It is the best antidote to the grief and anxiety and dissociation and anger that we all must feel sometimes looking at the scale of this crisis. And you will find amongst these groups hundreds of knowledgeable and compassionate and just brilliant people. And yeah, obviously I'm giving this talk at a conference of people who are already engaged and getting engaged, but to anyone who feels like even this is a necessary and valuable but small contribution, I really recommend you to get involved in any kind of protest movement, in any kind of direct action, because it helps you feel that little bit less alone and that little bit less afraid. This wasn't a very good talk. I hope you'll forgive me. I'll be around for the symposium, and feel free to send me a message. Might take me a little while to respond, but I would love to hear from you. If you are interested and want to know more about Scientist Rebellion, you can just type that into Google and you will find them. You'll find talks and resources and records of some of the amazing and inspiring actions that they do. And just once again to say how welcome you all are to come and engage and get involved and resist. Thank you.